Sometimes, our community, they mean well. They mean well. When the children come to them and they say, I'm struggling with this, or I'm struggling with that, or I'm struggling with this, I'm struggling with that, they will say things like, you need to pray more. Or they will say, you need to do more Quran. You need to read more hadith. You need to do these things. You need to do these things. Okay. There's some truth to this. But many times, the person needs a diagnosis first. Before you give medicine, you have to correctly diagnose. Why am I saying that? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his companions came to him and they say, Ya Rasulullah, there is a woman in this neighborhood. She prays all night, يعني tahajjud. And she fasts all day. But she's hard and harsh with her neighbors. What did Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam say about her? She is for the fire. Even though she prays and she fasts. So to go and tell someone like that to pray more or to fast more, you're making a mistake. Because you don't understand her spiritual sickness. You don't understand. You're giving her the wrong diagnosis. More prayer, more fasting is not going to help her. She has a different problem. If you need more proof, think of shaitan. Think of shaitan. In the tradition, it says, there's no place on earth where he did not make sajda. Remember, he was a jinn, but he was in the Mala'il A'la. He was in the highest assembly. So he was a worshipper of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He worshipped Allah. But his worship made him sicker. Because the disease he had was arrogance. So every sajda he made, every dhikr he made, it made him proud of himself. It made him iron. That's why he was able to say to Allah about Adam alayhi salam, Ana khayrun minhu. I am better than him. Because he had a spiritual disease. Sometimes our children, Allah hafadhna. May Allah preserve us, may Allah cover us, may Allah protect us. Right? But sometimes our children have psychological wounds. Like the man in the first hadith. Right? They may have done something and, it has caused some type of psychological damage. And to just immediately come with go pray more, go fast more, go do this more. You don't understand the problem. You don't understand the problem. They need to be, you have to spend time with them. You have to talk to them. You have to say, what's going on? What happened? How much time? Right? Like the man in the first hadith. He listened to him. He said, no, there's hope for you. Then he understood his context. He said, man, you gotta get out of it. You gotta get out of there. He didn't just say, oh, make tawbah, pray to Allah. No, he diagnosed him. What's the problem? Oh, leave, go. And I know people like this. Wallahi, I know people like this. I know a man. He was in a gang. And to be able to stay in that gang, the leader of the gang wanted him to go and kill someone. Not just him, but everybody in the gang. They had to go and kill someone. This is a true story. Wallahi, I'm telling you a true story. He had to go and kill someone. So he told the boss of the gang, okay, watch the news tonight at 5 o'clock. He goes up to a bus stop. A woman is at the bus stop. He shoots her point blank range. Boom. Blows her brains out. It's on the news. He gets away with it. He actually got away with that. He was arrested for drugs, but he wasn't arrested for murder. And when he went to prison and he began reflecting on it, he began reflecting on what he did, the magnitude of what he did. He began to develop ulcers. He began losing a lot of weight and everything. They put him in isolation because they couldn't understand what was wrong with him. Wallahi, when he was finally ready to talk about it, and he told me what he did, I understood. Because he had become Muslim. He had become Muslim in prison. And so what I'm saying to you is, you have to correctly diagnose. You have to really truly understand the problem, the situation around the problem, before you give them a general prescription. That's like someone comes to you with heart disease and you tell them to take Tylenol. Someone comes to you with a broken foot, you say just take Tylenol. Someone comes with you with a lung disease, you say take Tylenol. You didn't understand the problem. You have to take time to understand the problem first before you say, oh, you need to read Quran, you need to read Hadith, you need to do, right? Because if a person has a spiritual problem or a psychological problem, you have to, they cannot expand except in a dysfunctional way. Right? When the nafs begins to expand, it will expand in a dysfunctional way, like shaitan. Right? So we have to be very careful before we give these, generic prescriptions without understanding the problem.